Have you ever tried to build a second brain? To finally get your life organized, only to watch it just collapse under its own weight. If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place. We're going to dive into a totally new way to build personal software, one that actually works for you, not against you.
Oof. If this quote hits a little too close to home, trust me, you are not alone. So many of us start these projects with the best of intentions, right? But before we know it, we're drowning in a sea of digital notes. The very system that was supposed to bring us clarity just ends up creating, well, more chaos.
So, what's the deal? Why does this keep happening? Is it a personal failing? A lack of discipline? Did we just pick the wrong app? Or is there something fundamentally broken in how we're thinking about this whole thing? Well, here's the big idea. The problem isn't you, it's the method. For years, we've been trying to act like manual file clerks for our own brains. But what if? What if we could build a system that does all that organizing for us? To get there, we actually need to borrow a blueprint from the world of professional software development. And that foundation, it comes from a pretty unexpected place. A set of rules that engineers use to build massive, scalable apps. It's called the 12-factor app methodology, and it turns out it's kind of perfect for building our own personal second brain. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Yeah, it was designed for big tech, but these principles are really all about one thing: creating software that is reliable, scalable, and easy to maintain. Think of it like a professional blueprint for building something that's meant to last, whether it's for 1 million users or just for you. Let's look at the core ideas that really matter for what we're trying to do.
Okay, let's zoom in on 3 really crucial principles. First up, dependencies. This just means your app should be completely self-contained. It should bring its own tools to the party instead of just assuming they're already on your computer. Second, config. This is huge. You got to keep your settings and secrets like passwords totally separate from your code. It's way more secure and flexible. And third, build, release, run. You need a clear 3-step process. 1 stage for building the app, 1 for getting it ready, and 1 for actually running it. Following these rules just wipes out a ton of future headaches.
And all of this leads to a core goal that developers call parity. It's a simple idea, really. The place where you build your app should look almost identical to the place where it actually runs. This is how you kill that classic, infuriating excuse, well, it works on my machine. So, we have the principles, we have the blueprint, but how do we actually put this stuff into action? Let's take a look at what building a modern software stack for ourselves really looks like. Just look at this. This is that config principle in action. The bad practice on the left, hard-coding your passwords right into the app, that is a security nightmare waiting to happen. The good practice on the right is so much smarter. The app just looks for a placeholder, like database URL, in its environment. That means the code itself contains 0 secrets. And here's the real magic of doing it that way. You can take the exact same application and run it anywhere, on your laptop, on a server, wherever, just by changing those environment variables. The code itself never changes, which makes your app incredibly portable. The technology that makes all of this not just possible but practical is the container. You've probably heard of the most popular tool for this, Docker. It is the ultimate way to follow these principles. A Docker container is like a standardized shipping container for your software. It packs up your app and all of its tools into one neat little box that runs exactly the same no matter where you put it. This process right here is a perfect example of that build, release, run principle we were talking about. See, you use a temporary builder stage to gather up all your tools and dependencies. Then you copy only what the app absolutely needs to run into a final, clean image. The result isn't just organized, it's a much smaller, faster, and more secure application. Okay, so we've built the perfect, robust container for our application. But a container is just a box, right? The real magic, the real game changer, happens when we decide what engine to put inside it. And that's where this whole thing gets really exciting. We're talking about local AI. This means running incredibly powerful artificial intelligence models right on your own computer, not on some company's cloud server. This is the superpower that can finally turn our passive second brain into an active, intelligent partner. And the benefits here are just massive. First, you get absolute privacy. Your most personal notes, your most sensitive data, it never leaves your machine. You get total control over how the AI behaves. And maybe best of all, you get rid of API fees, which means you can experiment and use this thing as much as you want without ever worrying about a giant bill. And you don't need to be a data scientist to get this running. Tools like Llama and LM Studio have made it incredibly simple. Here's an easy way to think about it. Llama is like a command center for developers, perfect for plugging AI right into their own apps. LM Studio, on the other hand, is like a super user-friendly dashboard, perfect for anyone who just wants to click around and visually play with different AI models. Okay, let's put all these pieces together. We've got a solid blueprint for building our app, and we've got the superpower of local AI to put inside it. Now let's see how this incredible combination finally solves that problem we started with, the graveyard of abandoned second brain projects. And this brings us to a real-world system called Cog, which was built by a developer who was facing this exact problem. It is a brilliant combination of 3 tools: Obsidian, because it uses simple text files that will last forever; Git, to create a perfect history of every single change; and of course, a local AI to be the actual brain of the whole operation. The workflow here is just genius in its simplicity. You use a command like /braindump to just throw raw, messy, unstructured thoughts into the system. No tagging, no filing, none of that. Then, whenever you want, maybe once a week, you run /consolidate knowledge, and the AI reads everything and does all of the hard organization work for you. And the results, they're just stunning. This is the payoff. After months of scattered notes, one single command spit out a 15-page strategic analysis that was so coherent it was used in an actual investor pitch. Think about that. That's work that would have taken days, maybe weeks, to do by hand, if it ever got done at all. You see, this isn't just a new tool, it's a whole new philosophy. We are delegating all the tedious, boring administrative work, the filing, the tagging, the organizing, to our AI partner. And that frees up our own minds to do what we do best: have creative ideas, spot new patterns, and make the important decisions. We stop being our own librarians and get back to being thinkers. So there it is, a professional blueprint for building software and the incredible superpower of local AI. These tools aren't just for giant tech companies anymore. They're in your hands right now. The question is no longer if you can build your own intelligent tools. The only question left is, what will you build?